Hello, and welcome to the episode of GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your favorite wrestling fan here, your boy, Eric Rodriguez, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, every night whenever you get a chance. Make sure you like and subscribe to the show. We are live at 8 p.m. Pacific Time, 11 p.m. Eastern Time, here to talk about the greatest thing in the world, professional wrestling, all the action inside and outside the ring, backstage curtain calls, rumors, dramas, and we talk about superstar and active statuses, injury updates. We talk about contract negotiations, extensions, and new signings from promotions like AEW to WWE, to New Japan Professional Wrestling, to Stardom, to GCW, who makes major news in the world of professional wrestling. We are all ears here, and we're going to give you the hottest breaking news in the world. So make sure you guys smash that like and subscribe button. Maybe even share it to a friend or two who share the same passion of professional wrestling like you and me. So, hope you guys had a great weekend. You know, it was a decent weekend this week. Obviously, those who do love the NFL, it was a grueling couple of weeks, you know. But we got down to the final two teams going to the Super Bowl 59. We got the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles. One quick little fact, I gotta be honest. I'm not, I was a little upset because, when the Washington Commanders shockingly beat the Detroit Lions, because I was kind of banking on the Lions Chiefs Super Bowl. Like, we're all wrestling fans here. That Cody Rhodes against Roman Reigns. You have the babyface, which would have been the Detroit Lions, and then you have the heel, Patrick Mahomes, leading the Kansas City Chiefs to their three-peat. I was kind of banking on that. I kind of wanted that. That's what I wanted the most. And then the Washington Commanders came out of nowhere to beat them, and the moment they beat them, I was like, all right, good. But they better freaking beat the Eagles. Other than that, it's like, why beat the Lions? Because the Lions would have easily beat the Philadelphia Eagles. Obviously, that's my opinion. You guys don't have to share the same opinion. But, I don't know. I hated it. I was like, dude, the Commanders win. Yeah, cool. That's awesome. The underdog wins and that, so to speak. So it's cool. You know what I mean? But, you just win a shocking match against one of the best teams in the NFC just to lose to the Philadelphia Eagles. Like, are you serious? That's... And now we have a rematch of the Philadelphia Eagles going up against the Kansas City Chiefs in Super Bowl 59, which is okay. It's going to be a good match, but I feel like if the Eagles lose, I'm going to be even more upset, because I'm like, damn, I feel like these Lions could ultimately dethrone the Pat Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. But, it is what it is. We have it in 2 weeks. I don't know if any of you guys are super fans of the Pro Bowl games, with the dodgeball and the target test. I dig it. The quarterback skills drill, I think it's pretty badass. So I'm definitely going to be watching that next week along with the Royal Rumble. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on into our wrestling content that we have here. Our first segment, we're going to talk about some AEW Dynamite. We're going to we're going to review it, and then we're going to talk about some Monday Night Raw. We're going to talk about it like a little bit of a sneak peek kind of preview. My predictions of what's going to happen tonight. Obviously, it's already aired on the East Coast through Netflix, but I have not checked a single shred of social media. No TikTok, no Instagram, no Facebook, no nothing. So I'm going in absolutely blind, so a lot of these takes might be viewed as genius, or they might be viewed as, this guy's not really a wrestling fan. We're going to talk about that. We are also going to talk about the Wyatt Six. The Wyatt Six recently have been kind of written off of television, kind of killing the momentum that they had with their Raw debut. It was spectacular, and then losing up against the Final Testament. So we're going to talk about the future of the Wyatt Six. Why exactly have they been off WWE? Why did they go to SmackDown? And what's the future for them heading forward? And then our fourth and fifth segment, we're going to talk about wrestling power rankings. Of course, at first, we're going to talk about the men's top 10, and then we have the women's top 10. Kind of like, we have the top 10 men and women that, kind of finished December 2024 on a high note, and is going toward a deep run with their success heading toward January of 2025. So, some of these, wrestling power rankings might be like, oh, that person looked like, they peaked in 2024. But overall, I feel like this is going to be like a performance that they had in 2024 and heading into 2025. The accomplishments that they have right now set the scale, what they're kind of looking forward to in the horizon of their careers. So we're going to talk about that. But before we do any of that, I just just want to remind you guys to go ahead and hit up that tips and donations link, whether if you got a burning question or hot take in terms of the world of professional wrestling here at the GSMC Sports Network. We want you guys to make sure you guys know that we are all ears. So if you're dying to get something off your chest, make sure you type that in that chat. Obviously, this podcast is all about keeping the conversation going, making the party lively. So you guys' chats obviously brings that up to a T. Don't be shy, drop your thoughts inside that chat. Do not forget, and if you really want to make sure your comment, question, or concern gets noticed on the show, go ahead and hit up that $sign right there. Anything you put inside that little chat box is going to be featured on the show, 1,010%. So why not do it? Just just give it a little hit. Plus, it's a great way to keep a lot of these amazing podcasts that we have here on the network alive. We cannot give you guys awesome sports content every day without a little bit of, it's like you guys benefit, we benefit, a nice little back and forth beneficial relationship we have here at the GSMC Sports Network. So make sure you guys, hit up that tips and donations link. It's highly appreciated, and we are super grateful already. I'm giving you guys a thank you in advance for each and every one of you guys who joins us here on the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast. Your support makes all the difference. So let's keep the conversation going. Let's get this party started. Send in those super chats to those super stickers because you guys are super awesome, and together we will make sure this podcast is bigger, better, and stronger than ever. But of course, if the super chat not your thing, it's all good in the neighborhood. Don't be shy. Go ahead and hit up that tips and donations link at the GSMCpodcast.net. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't like. Just remember to Superman punch that like and subscribe button to the show. Follow the show. Follow the network here at the GSMC Sports Network. We do love a lot of peace, love, and positivity, 1,010%. But of course, in terms of talking sports, it's all good. Criticisms do arrive. Some disagreements are going to happen. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Don't be shy. Drop your thoughts inside that chat, no matter what it says, no matter how, if you think it might be stupid to bring up, there's no such thing as a dumb comment. No such thing. Would love to hear from you guys. All right, without further ado, let's go and talk about some AEW Dynamite. The episode was decent. It was every single time I do these reviews, if it's SmackDown, Raw, Dynamite, PLEs, it doesn't really matter. I usually go like, oh, it's pretty good. But this one kind of, it felt like maybe it could have had a little bit of a spark or two. And not that it didn't, but I feel like the sparks that they gave us, it was kind of like we already kind of knew that was going to happen. But let's go ahead and start out. We got Will Ospreay coming out, and then Kenny Omega with Tony Schiavone, obviously kind of airing out some dirty laundry, meat in the middle of the ring. Will Ospreay told, Kenny Omega, he was like, you know what, bruv, I don't remember the last time I saw you in this ring other than us exchanging blows, right hand by right hand, left hand by left hand, headbutts, kicks to the abdomen. And Kenny Omega straight up said, you know what, the last time we met, dude, it was at Forbidden Door. It was at Forbidden Door, and you were shoving a screwdriver in my forehead, trying to prove yourself to the Don Callis family. Obviously, he said there's no chance in hell that he would never ever trust Will Ospreay, and he even given that bruv. He was like, I can never ever trust you. Don Callis comes out, obviously adding fuel to the fire. Kenny Omega comes out, he takes the bait, then he's ramped up. He's taken down by Konosuke Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher. I almost said David Fletcher, but those who are Angels fans, you know who David Fletcher is. But Kyle Fletcher and Konosuke Takeshita of the Don Callis family start taking out Kenny Omega. Will Ospreay is kind of stuck in the ring. He's like, you know what, this guy literally cut a promo right in front of my face stating that I'm not a worthy competitor. I only got the spotlight because he was injured. Now that he's back, you got to take a back seat because you are number 2 and I am number 1. So if I was Will Ospreay, it would have been, obviously you kind of saw him in the ring. He had that intermoral turmoil. He was like, should I do it? Should I stay? Should I go? What do I want to do? He went out there and he started helping Kenny Omega, and at the end of the bout, or at the end of the brawl that broke out for like a hardcore 10, 15 minutes. It was kind of crazy. I thought I thought they let that. I thought AEW kind of let that go on for a little bit more than I thought they were gonna break it up. But Kenny Omega and Ospreay obviously look like they're on the same page. Kenny Omega, he has a huge connection with AEW fans. Once again, I do love the fact that AEW has downgraded to smaller auditoriums, to smaller venues. I feel like it's perfect. This is something that you need right now, and I know it's not like the, Staples Center. Well, it's not the Staples Center anymore right now. It's the Crypto.com Arena. But, Staples Center, Airlines Arena, you're not going to sell out arenas anymore. And I'm sorry. It's not going to happen. It might be a smaller seat capacity, but at the end of the day, you're going to get more viewers. And the crowd on AEW Dynamite, they made it pop. They really honestly did. And I thought it was super cool. And I did recognize the guy wearing the Sting makeup in the front row. I thought that was pretty badass. I thought that was super cool. I love the fact that Kenny Omega is back in AEW, and that's why I feel like AEW will ultimately have a huge 2025. That's the whole reason why I'm like, if Ricky Starks is causing drama, if Rey Fenix is causing drama, if Britt Baker, dude, if it gets to the point where, sometimes just let him go. Just let him go. You don't need that negative aspect. You don't need that negative rep surrounding the company, especially on social media right now. You got these Twitter trolls waiting for one of these superstars to be like, I hate it here in AEW, and everybody's like, oh, Tony Khan sucks, AEW sucks, AEW's gonna fail, AEW is WCW, but that's not how it is. That's not, So right now, if I was Tony Khan, I'd be like, you know what, it's, fresh start. What's the classic New Year's slogan? It's like New Year, New Me, but at the same time, it's not really New Year, New Me if you're making the same mistakes over and over again. But overall, like I said, I do love the smaller venue. I definitely love that. At the end of it, you saw Kenny Omega kind of apologizing to Will Ospreay, be like, you know what? Maybe I was acting like an asshole. Maybe it was just me. Maybe we do have a chance to kind of sweep it all under the rug and take down this family that Will Ospreay, you helped build, and Kenny Omega, I'm suffering because these guys are on top. So, I love the build-up. I do love the build-up. I love the connection of the fans. You have the aerial assassin and Kenny Omega, one of the best wrestlers in the world of professional wrestling, tag teaming up, going to AEW Grand Slam Australia, and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Next, we have the Hurt Syndicate defeating Private Party. There's nothing more to say about this match, but Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin once again show that they're dominant. It makes me believe that it was like, when Private Party dethroned the EVPs, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, for the AEW World Tag Team titles, I thought it was cool. I thought it was awesome. I was like, a tag team that's been around AEW since the get-go back in 2019/18. They deserve it. They deserve the attention, especially if Matthew and Nicholas Jackson be like, we're going to spend some time in New Japan Professional Wrestling. Bye. We're going to go ahead and drop this storyline that's been going around with Kazuchika Okada and, the scapegoat of Jack Perry. They're like, we're going to let go of every single one of those storylines, and then we're going to move on. And, they're like, okay, who do we put the tag team titles on? They gave it to a veteran team, which was Private Party. And now you have, they were just beaten senseless. And it gets to the point where, they were beaten senseless. Was it senseless to even have them go up against the Hurt Syndicate? The Hurt Syndicate is on fire, 1,010%. But couldn't they defeated Matthew and Nicholas Jackson? Why do they have to protect the EVPs to come? What is it, like credibility or something like that? I don't think it's like a PP showing contest or anything like that. But I'm not trying to trash AEW. Once again, the reason why Cody Rhodes and CM Punk left that company was because, a lot of people had a little bit of a say-so, maybe too much of a say-so. Whether if it's Tony Khan, Matthew Nicholas Jackson, I don't really think it would be like a Kenny Omega kind of thing. I did know, I've heard, according to reports that he was backstage, according to a lot of creative plans that AEW was kind of going through, but I don't know. I just, I feel bad for Private Party. And Private Party, I'm pretty sure they don't really give enough, because it's like, what? We won the tag team titles. We're still here. We've won them on a couple of numerous occasions, but then again, it doesn't really come to fruition. They don't really have a legacy standpoint in terms of AEW. Of course, they've been there since the beginning. So if they have like a royalty club or like a legends thing, they would probably definitely be on there. So the Hurt Syndicate become the new AEW World Tag Team Champions. I'm not in love with it. Definitely am not in love with it. But it is what it is. Mariah May talks about being disrespected as AEW World Women's Champion. And then you have Toni Storm and Harley Cameron. I gotta be honest, I do love their chemistry that they do have together right now. Toni Storm not really embracing in that timeless Toni Storm concept, but I think she ultimately kind of reprimanded it back in Saturday Night's Collision. I read according to reports. But Mariah May as AEW World Women's Championship holder, I don't really hold her accountable for bad storytelling or bad creative writing or anything like that, because I feel like she is an amazing superstar. She is a tremendous competitor inside that ring. But it's just, she cuts decent promos. She cuts decent promos, but then that could also, depend on a lot of the character that she has there. The glamour of Mariah May going up against timeless Toni Storm, who's been absolutely electric. And I'm not saying Mariah May doesn't know how to put on a good wrestling match, but if you're gonna put the title on somebody, I would rather prefer Toni Storm. And I'm not trying to rub any AEW heads the wrong way, but I don't know. I do love Mariah May. I feel like she's great. She's great. She's great. But at the end of the day, I was like, you know what? I did kind of like Toni Storm's reign a little bit more better. I feel like in the women's division on AEW kind of made it a little bit more prominent, but it should find out. We should find out what happens at AEW Grand Slam Australia if Mariah May loses against Toni Storm. We have Jeff Jarrett calling out MJF not really working out. Then he calls out the AEW World Champion Jon Moxley. Claudio Castagnoli comes out of the Death Riders and kind of sets them straight. He's like, no one gets to Jon Moxley without getting through me first. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. That's interesting. So right now, Jeff Jarrett seems like he's fighting a battle with two fronts, MJF and also the Death Riders. Swerve Strickland comes out, defeats AR Fox. You had that nice gentleman's handshake at the end of the match. Ricochet was backstage holding scissors to the neck of Prince Nana. So, I think I heard Tony Schiavone, or no, I think it was Excalibur. He was like, Ricochet wants Swerve Strickland to know that scissors always break, always break rock or paper, or always beats paper. And I don't know, I thought that was kind of crazy because of the whole, throwing toilet paper and stuff like that. Like, I get it, I know why they did it, but I just thought that was kind of a funny promo. I was like, how could you make Ricochet look even more badass? Oh, you know what? On the mic, I'm just gonna be like, oh, Ricochet knows that scissors always cuts paper. Like, I was like, okay, but it was cool. Excalibur, he's cool. He's cool. All right, so we have MJF addressing Jeff Jarrett, and then after that you had Hangman Adam Page in a smash match. Not really sure why they kind of had that spot. Christopher Daniels comes out to talk to Hangman Adam Page, basically apologizing, being like, hey, that Texas death match was my last match. I was told by doctors that I will never, ever, ever wrestle again. And you can see Hangman Adam Page a little conflicted. I feel like if Hangman could kind of jump into that babyface role, it wouldn't really be much of a surprise to the fans. I feel like it'd be great because it seems like every spot he's in, he's not really trying to be like a POS bad guy, with the whole Swerve Strickland thing. He lit his house on fire. Yeah, I get it. But, their feud back in the day, you saw Swerve kind of infiltrate Hangman Adam Page's house as well. So, I don't think Hangman Adam Page is really much of a bad guy, and I feel like the fans do love it when he comes out. If they kind of find a way to revamp his character and have him be a babyface, I feel like AEW would be in a better position than it is now. But, Hangman Adam Page seems obviously conflicted. And Mercedes Moné seen backstage holding all the gold. Harley Cameron, what about that, guys? She's insanely talented. She came in with the guitar. Then she was, doing some great, little actresses, with, personalities and facial gestures. And I gotta be honest, I had no idea she had that in her. I don't know why. I felt like that was one of the main things that happened on AEW Dynamite tonight. But it was a good episode. Like I said, it was a good episode. She looked like a freaking damn Disney star, singing and dancing. Like, I don't know. I never really had Harley Cameron on my radar, and maybe it's just because I'm like a geek or anything, something like that. But I think she's talented as hell. I thought that was her song to Mercedes Moné was actually pretty badass. Obviously Mercedes Moné gets the last laugh, trashing the reputation that Cameron has in terms of matches on AEW. Jamie Hayter defeats Julia Hart in a one-on. No, she evens it. Now it's one-on-one. It was a great match. Jamie Hayter gives Julia Hart respect and also advice. Cope is able to defeat the Bastard Pack, but at the end of the day, you had Rated FTR taken out in the backstage. Obviously, the Rock and Roll Express as well. The Death Riders come out to attack Cope. Also, Switchblade Jay White tries to pay dividends, tries to even the odds, but it is not enough to take down Wheeler Yuta, the Bastard Pack, Jon Moxley, and Claudio Castagnoli, and of course Marina Shafir as well. Don't want to leave her name out of it. Like I said, it was a good episode of Dynamite. I liked it. I did feel like it was at sometimes the pop factor of it. I feel like, having Kenny Omega start the show, I like it. I definitely do 1,010%. But, out of 10 stars, I'll give it like a 6.5. All right, guys, so we do not go anywhere. We're going to talk about some WWE Monday Night Raw. Like I said, it is already aired on the East Coast. And I am well aware of that. I have not checked a single shred of social media. No TikTok, no Instagram, no Facebook, no nothing like that. So I'm going in like you guys, absolutely blind, which is cool. I definitely hate. I would never ever watch an episode of Monday Night Raw and be like, oh, I'm gonna pretend like I didn't watch it and I don't know the results. So we're gonna dive into that. So grab your favorite snack, grab your favorite ice cold beverage, and join me here in about 25 seconds. So hey, do not go absolutely anywhere.